All right, good afternoon, juniors, and welcome back to College Prep Wednesday. Now that you've taken the ACT, woo, it's over. The remaining College Prep videos will now refocus and start to discuss college a little bit more specifically. These videos are called How to Get Into College 101 and can be found on my Patrick McClendon's YouTube page or by going to the CPW section on the Reagan homepage and selecting the desired video. Hopefully these videos will bring some humor, insight, and above all, some helpful information to the college application process. And today's video is admittedly a tad low on the information side of things and far more about just giving an overview of the college application process. The coming videos will contain a lot more in the way of pertinent information. I'm willing to bet a lot of you juniors are feeling a little lost about how to begin, let alone complete the college application process. I know every time a friend asked me last year about it, my expression was something like this. And anytime I heard someone else say how many applications they'd completed when I'd finished none, it was a little bit more like this. But just like everyone else, my first reaction was a little bit more like Ryan Gosling's. Like, what? But believe me when I say you can do this. I did it, millions of students before you have done it, and you most certainly can too. Before we start today, I want you to remember 5 simple things. First and foremost, you can get in. Really. The college admissions isn't as competitive as you might think. Fewer than 100 colleges in the United States are highly selective, which means they accept less than 25% of applicants. Close to 500 four-year colleges accept more than 75% of applicants, and open admission colleges accept all or most high school graduates. Number 2, you are more than test scores. This point is especially important for those of you who are feeling a little down about your ACT scores. I got into one of the most selective colleges in the country with an ACT score a whole 5 points off from the average admitted score. Scores are only one part of the application. Colleges care most about the work you've done in high school. They look for students who have earned strong grades in challenging courses. They also try to learn about your character by looking at what you do outside the classroom. So take advantage of opportunities like the application essay and college interview, if you have one, to show a more complete picture of who you are. Number 3, you're in charge. This is your big future. You're in the driver's seat. Stay focused on what's important to you and what you want to get out of your college experience. College planning can feel really overwhelming at times, but if you take charge, stay focused on your goals, you can make it work for you. Number 4, you are unique. You should base your choice on how well a college fits your needs. Don't worry about how it's ranked on the list or how famous it is. The effort you put into the opportunities you take advantage of once you get there matter far more than the college you go to. Once you graduate from college, your achievements and skills, those are what's going to matter the most. And last but most certainly not least, you're not in this alone. Family, teachers, and friends are a great resource. Discuss your plans to go to college with them and ask for help and advice. Make an appointment with a school counselor or our principal to talk about your application process, colleges that will suit you, and the options for financial aid. Asking for help is really important. Now we're going to transition into looking at the college application timeline. The timeline starts, first of all, with completing the ACT, which at this point you all have completed. So you all can give yourselves a little round of applause. It's over. You can stretch if you're retaking it. I suppose it's not over, but otherwise, the ACT, that first step is over. But now we start to look a little bit more closely at filling out college applications. And this process usually begins as applications open, usually in the August to October range. The common application starts, so you can start editing and adding to your common application as early as August 1st of this coming August. And UW-Madison, I know, released theirs about August 1st, so about the same time, just as a way to compare the two. After you complete your applications, And I suppose this factors into that as well. You need to choose early and or regular decision. They have vastly different timelines. When you're choosing between early action and early decision, it can be really important for you to understand the difference between early action and early decision, and also, going back to, whether or not you're looking at early or regular decision or action timelines, because that changes things as well, and we will talk a little bit more about that in the future. Then it moves on to sort of the financial aid process. Once you've applied to a college or university, you can file FAFSA, and FAFSA is actually required for all schools, and FAFSA forms are available each year starting January 1st. Only some schools require the CSS form, but they are always available, so you can start filling them out as soon as you finish applying if your school requires it. If you are a unregistered or undocumented student in California, you can fill out a DREAM Act application, and that is a way for you to file for financial aid if you are an undocumented student. However, again, that is only in California. And for those parents or students that are non-tax filers, FAFSA has sections available for that specifically, but also expect additional information to be solicited from your college or university. A lot of times they have additional forms that you fill out with certain requirements for what you should report, even if you do not have taxes that would report corroborating that sort of information. Then next up is waiting. And waiting is perhaps one of the worst parts because you're very nervous, you're sitting on the edge of your seat, but I guess it's also a little satisfying considering, well, you're done. And at this point, you've got to be wondering, well, when should I apply for scholarships? And the response to that is, well, now. And, well, actually, probably preferably yesterday. You can apply for scholarships today. You can apply for them tomorrow. You can apply for them throughout your junior year, during the summer, and all throughout your senior year, and after, and during college. But the best time is now, especially now that you've got ACT scores that you can report that a lot of scholarships need you to have. So make sure you're applying for scholarships all the time, and the best time is now. And then once all of that's completed, it's decision-making time. But, well, before any of that can begin, well, you need to be doing research. And, well, I cannot stress this point enough, which is why for the rest of your ELO time today is devoted to completing some preliminary research. If you're asking yourself, well, what should I be researching? Well, you should be researching prospective colleges and universities. And once you compile a list of at least 3 schools, or if you have already at least 3 schools in mind, you need to look up the costs, application dates and deadlines, perhaps the endowment size, offered majors, if you're looking specifically for majors. If you really want to go into veterinary medicine, for example, only some schools offer that as an undergrad, or perhaps even graduate as well. If you have no idea what you're offered, what a major you'd like to consider, perhaps just checking the majors out just so you can get an idea or a feel for what things might look like. Diversity statistics, I know that was really important for me, so looking that up could be really great. That's something you should record as well as all of the available activities on that campus. You should be recording this preferably somewhere that you're going to look at again from now. You don't want to put it on a piece of paper and toss it on your way out today. You should be putting it in an email you email to yourself, or a Google Doc that you have running. In fact, I think that's probably the best option, is to create a Google document and record this sort of thing continuously. So for next week's video, just so you know, we're going to be talking about filling out and preparing for applications, and that is all she wrote. So enjoy researching today, guys. Hopefully you pull up a lot of really great information, and thanks so much, and I hope you enjoyed.